Present.
Commissioner Santiago?
Here.
Vice Mayor Harriet?
Here.
Mayor Vila?
Here. If we can please stand for the pledge and have Commissioner Harriet lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time we're going to start with action item 4A, public hearing ordinance number 02-2025, amending the zoning code chapter 70 of general provision, amending section 70-30 definitions and other terms used in section 110-310 RM1 multiple family residential, section 110-311 RM2 multifamily residential to include additional standards, amending chapter 76 affordable housing of Land Development Code relating to affordable housing regulations and the Live Local Act at second reading. Mr. Jordan.
Good morning, Mayor, Commission, City Manager, City Attorney. Thank you for coming to this special meeting and pre-holiday. So today is the second reading of ordinance number 02-2025. On January 16th, Ordinance 04-2024 was approved. On October 21st, Resolution 24-50 was approved. This was the zoning in progress. The second reading of Ordinance 02-2025, the first reading was on December 9th. And just as a recollection, we're here to modify Chapter 76, Affordable Housing, to establish procedures and regulations to implement Live Local. And the Act also permits the city to apply its multifamily regulations to affordable housing developments, except for height, density, and zoning. The Chapter 76 is pages 20 to 34 in your packet, and multifamily regulations is 4 to 14 in your packet. Staff recommends approval of ordinance number 02-2025.
Before we have any discussion, is there a motion on the table?
I move.
There's a motion by Commissioner Howington. There's a second by Vice Mayor Harriet.
Oh, yeah.
And then is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Clarification on the motion. What are we moving to do? Just to approve the
If Commissioner Howington can
ordinance?
please just read the motion off your tablet.
Approve it as presented.
I hereby move to approve ordinance number 02-2025, amending the zoning code, chapter 70 of the general provision, amending section 70-30 definitions and other terms used in section 110-310 RM1 multifamily residential and section 110-311 RM-2 multifamily residential to include additional standards, amending chapter 76 Affordable Housing and Land Development Code relating to affordable housing regulations and the Live Local Act at second reading.
Thank you, Commissioner Howington. Is the second still held by Vice Mayor Harriet?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Yes. My only request is that if we can remove item 10. Item 10 is recycling service to reduce the amount of waste sent to landfill. Since the city is not part of the recycling service, I would like that removed from there.
Sure. Commissioner, staff can remove that from the regulations.
Yes.
All right, is there any public comment?
Do we need to get approve or agree?
Approve or agree for what?
Motion or agreement?
To amend the motion to remove the recycling service.
I agree to amend my motion.
Second agrees.
And Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead, Jordan.
Just for clarification, and that's on line 1167 of the agenda packet.
Page 33.
Go ahead, Mr. Good.
Page 33, correct.
So this is an ordinance of the City of Deltona, Florida, amending the zoning code, Chapter 70 of general provisions, amending Section 70-30 definitions, and other terms used in Section 110-310 RM1 multiple family residential, in Section 110-311 RM2 multiple family residential, to include additional standards, amending Chapter 76, Affordable Housing of the Land Development Code, relating to the Affordable Housing Regulations and the Live Local Act, providing for codification, conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
Motion passes 7-0. This time, we're going to move to action item 4B, public hearing resolution number 2024-81, making a contingent finding pursuant to section 196.1978 Florida statutes based on the 2024 Schimberg Center for Housing Studies annual report, electing to not exempt certain property from ad valorem taxation under the Live Local Act, subject to that finding as allowed under section 196.1978.
I'd like to make a motion to approve
It's a motion by,
Second.
B as presented.
can you read it off the iPad, please?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-81, making a contingent finding pursuant to Section 196.1978, subsection 3O.
It's a motion by,
Statutes based on the 2024 Schimberg Center of Housing Studies annual report, electing to not exempt certain property from ad valorem taxation under the Live Local Act, subject to the findings as followed under Section 196.1978, subsection 3, subsection O, 2024.
there's a motion by Vice Mayor Harriet, and I believe there was a second by
Second.
Commissioner Howington. And there is Commissioner Vila Vasquez, you're on the board.
Thank you, Mayor. Jordan, can you just give a brief explanation of what this is all about for the residents who have called me and asked me what this is about that have no understanding of what this is?
Sure, not a problem.
Thank you.
So during the 2024 legislation, the governor signed into law Chapter 2024-158, which provides an exemption from ad valorem taxation for properties deemed affordable housing for persons or families whose annual household income is between 80 and 120% of the median annual adjusted gross income for housings within MSA, which is Deltona, Daytona Beach, and Ormond Beach. Florida statutes authorizes the taxing authorities such as Deltona, upon adoption by a 2/3 vote, to elect not to exempt property from ad valorem taxation under Florida statutes, providing the taxing authority jurisdictions is part of the MSA where the number of affordable and available units exceed the number of renter households in the income category of 0 to 120% per the Schimberg report, which came out last week. This MSA has a surplus of 1,917 affordable and available units in the MSA. Therefore, the city is eligible to not exempt properties that would otherwise be eligible for the Live Local tax exemption. And this opt-out only affects 75% of the 80 to 120 AMI tax exemption. The 80 to 120 AMI is not serving Deltona's greatest need. It also has a large impact to budget and essential services. And if approved, this takes effect on January 1st, 2025, expiring on January 1st, 2027, and it may be renewed prior to expiration.
Thank you.
Commissioner Colwell, then Commissioner Howington.
Oh, we're switched again. That was me, I bet.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Sorry. We're playing musical chairs up here.
Here, let me help them.
Do you want to switch? Okay, thanks.
I think our votes.
Got it. Oh, okay. Well, at least we voted the same, huh? Okay, so I want to just break it down a little bit simpler. This would, as the state legislation was, it would have allowed developers to come and put in, quote, affordable housing. It would have put the burden on the city, but because there would have been no revenue coming in, we would have essentially been providing services in exchange for no revenue. Is that a good summary?
Correct. And this exemption is for the middle income, which is the 0 to 120 income level.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Howington.
I was just wanting to confirm that this would include them in the tax base rather than excluding them for the rest of our residents to pay the fee on their behalf.
Correct.
Pay for infrastructure.
Correct. And The approximate revenue loss over 30 years for 2 apartments would be about $6.6 million over 30 years.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment? I still have to ask. All right. Mr. Good.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This is a resolution of the City of Deltona, Florida, making a contingent finding pursuant to Section 196.1978, subsection 3, subsection O, Florida statutes, based on the 2024 Schimberg Center for Housing Studies Annual Report, electing to not exempt certain property from ad valorem taxation under the Live Local Act, subject to that finding, as allowed under Section 196.1978, subsection 3, subsection O, subsection 2024, Florida statutes providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
Motion passes 7-0. Is there any city manager comments?
Not at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, at this time, everyone have a Merry Christmas. Meeting's adjourned.
Set records.
There it is.